Hello, my name's Steve Meadows and I'm the Programme Director for the BSc Honours Sport and Exercise for Health, and I'd like to just spend a few minutes telling you something about this programme if you're interested in making an application to study with us. So, welcome to the School of Sport and Exercise Science. I'm a senior lecturer here, as well as being the Programme Director for this particular degree programme. If you want to find out a little bit more about our school, you can use the web address which is shown on the slide here to get some up-to-date information about what's going on in the school, to learn about staff members and some of the student activities which are going on. The website is updated regularly, so you can kind of find out what's going on recently. One of the more important announcements which has been made is that our academic school is going to be relocating to the Canterbury campus for 2021. This is something we're very excited about. We consider this will provide a much better student experience, being on a bigger campus with all the facilities that can provide, as well as additional opportunities for research and expansion of the academic programs that we have on offer. So if you want to find out how things are going, please check out the website and that will keep you informed about the move. So anyway, let's talk a little bit more about the programs which are on offer. We have two programs in this particular area. A 3-year program, which is a BSc Honours in Sport and Exercise for Health, or you can do an additional year, which is usually done between your second and your third year, which is Sport and Exercise for Health with a year in industry. And this offers you obviously an opportunity to accumulate significant work experience, obviously within the fields of sport and exercise or health, and this will help to enhance your CV and obviously help to improve your job prospects once you finish your degree programme. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about both of these programmes. Obviously the modules are the same on each programme, but obviously that additional year does make a difference. So what is Sport and Exercise for Health? Well, obviously sport and exercise, physical activity can be used as a therapeutic intervention to help to promote health. And health, you can think of it as a holistic concept. The physical health, obviously in terms of how the body functions and perhaps preventing disease conditions. Social health, in terms of people keeping connected and being part of a community. And more recently we've been learning about the importance of mental health and how exercise can be used out particularly during the COVID pandemic. So the whole agenda around this particular field of study has been raised through the COVID-19 pandemic and how people can maintain and help perhaps improve their health, but also deal with issues around perhaps anxiety and depression which have been associated with other problems in life. It obviously has appeal across a very broad population. An athletic population is one of the more obvious things which you might look at, but also the general population in terms of promoting health and preventing disease conditions and perhaps keeping people out of hospital, but also special population groups, so the importance of physical activity, sport or exercise in terms of the growth and development of children, the promotion of quality life in our elderly population, or for very specific problems like cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's, and how we help people manage those conditions but perhaps enhance their function. And we cover all of these things on this degree programme. Obviously, activity is important in our modern society for everybody. We spend too much time doing things like this, sitting at a desk in front of a computer, driving a car, sitting at home in front of the TV. And obviously, we need to remain active. And again, the agenda around that is gaining momentum. Focus on the ill health associated with being sedentary, but also how can we promote people to become more active in a society which is essentially sedentary. All of these things need to be considered in your degree programme. And obviously there's a need for professionals who can inspire, motivate, but also prescribe optimal and safe activity programmes for all to do. And this is why this programme exists. So if you're someone who may be active yourself, you may be an athlete, you may be an experienced games player, you may compete at very high level, or you might be more of a recreational exerciser, someone who just has an interest in the role that activity has to play. Well, you can combine that passion with some professional practice and start the training for your future career in this particular field. So what topics will you be studying? Okay, whether you do the 3 or the 4 year programme, you'll be using the disciplines listed there on the slide. It's a science-based programme, so there will be anatomy, there will be physiology, there will be some biomechanics, there will be nutrition science. All of those things are part of this degree programme. Some of the more specific disciplines are listed there on the slide. Sport and exercise psychology, understanding how people behave and what influences that behaviour is as important as prescribing the right forms of exercise for those people to do. Health and exercise promotion. It's not just about theory, but how do we put the theory into practice and how do we evaluate those things and the effectiveness of them. And then you've got other things relating to kind of research. Obviously doing a degree, part of that experience is conducting your own research project, and that's something which we help train you to do, particularly in your 2nd and your 3rd year of your course. So the topics you're going to learn about within those disciplines are the structure and function of the human body. We need to know how this machine actually works and how we can help promote that. We are what we eat. What we put into the body will determine how well we perform and the impact of that upon our health as well as our performance. Understanding health and exercise behaviour. There's lots of theories out there and models that help us understand why people behave in a particular way. And addressing things like sedentary behaviour and physical activity and health behaviour are an important part of your understanding during your time studying. And you need to understand also how to be an effective researcher. That will culminate in your 3rd year dissertation project, where you'll be actively collecting data, analysing it through statistical method and producing a 10,000 word dissertation report. Along the way you'll also be doing some measuring and prescribing of exercise, so looking at important disciplines like fitness testing, fitness training methodology, but also focusing on specific issues around special or clinical population groups, which again you'll tend to specialise in those during your 2nd and your 3rd year. There's also the opportunity of putting some theory into practice. So we have modules around sport and exercise promotion, industry placement opportunities whereby you can go for a time doing one of the modules which we have in our final year, where you can spend a bit of time working for an organisation, putting some of your theory into practice, but gaining that valuable experience which will help improve your graduate prospect opportunities. And then obviously finally doing your research dissertation project, which you can do in an area of interest, or maybe orientating it towards something that you're interested in doing in the future. If you did do the Year in Industry programme, how does that work? Well, essentially you do 2 modules during that additional year. One is 900 hours of actual work, and that's your industrial placement experience. We like students to select something that they're particularly interested in. Obviously, COVID allowing, that could be something within the UK, locally, in the southeast or further afield, or it could be something abroad. But we want you to initiate that process and to find your own placement. We do have a career service here at the university, so they can help you in that process. Also, you'll complete an industrial placement portfolio, and that's something you'll submit at the end of the year. Doing that additional year in industry does change the weighting of your degree classification, and on the slide there you can see how that is divided. If you were doing a normal 3-year programme, then it's your 2nd and your 3rd year that counts towards your final degree classification, with a 40-60% split respectively. If you're doing the Year in Industry programme, your stage 2 or your 2nd year would be 35%, your Year in Industry, which would essentially be your 3rd year, would be 10%, and then your stage 3, which would be your 4th year, when you'd come back to university after your Year in Industry, would be 55%. As well as gaining important experience, other schools within the university have found that when students come back from that year in industry, they're much more mature, they're much more motivated, and they're able to achieve better in their stage 3 of their programme. Why study with us at the School of Sport and Exercise Sciences? Well, we're a small, friendly community of approachable staff. Many of us are practitioners still working within the realms of sports science, sport and exercise for health. But we like our students to get involved in the work that we do, so we're very approachable. Our students also have a voice. Our move to Canterbury was initiated by our Student Voice Committee, whereby they wanted a better experience, they wanted more access to the sport and recreation facilities, and our move to Canterbury will provide that. Also, important changes to our programmes are often initiated through our Student Voice Committee, so we're interested in getting feedback from our students about how things are going. There's lots of unique opportunities that our students can get involved with. As I've already mentioned, many of our staff are involved in research projects or are practitioners, and we encourage our students to work alongside our staff as part of the academic community. We have well-leading researchers, and students can get involved with doing or helping with that research. And obviously, with having those well-leading researchers, these are the people who are going to be teaching you in your modules. So they're individuals who are up to date with their current disciplines. And obviously, sometimes students do have problems when they come and study at university or leaving home. We have our own student support officer who can get alongside our students and provide the important support that they might need so they can successfully complete their studies. And to epitomise that, here's an example of an email that I received a couple of years ago from one of our students. She did need support during her time with us. She persevered with her studies, she worked incredibly hard, and she graduated with a 2-1 degree, which she was absolutely delighted about. And to be honest, she thoroughly deserved it because she put the effort in. But this email provides you with the kind of, community that we can provide here at the University of Kent in the School of Sport and Exercise Sciences. Because we are a small school, we get to know our students and we're interested in their achievements and we help them with their successes. We often get asked, what can you do with your degree once you finish? Well, here are some examples listed on the slide of the kinds of jobs that you can do. We've had students who've become exercise physiologists for National Health Service agencies, delivering exercise for clinical populations, for example, those who've had heart attacks or those who've got lung diseases. Every local authority will have health promoters responsible for promoting the health of their local community. Having a sport and exercise degree programme and graduating from one of those will put you in the right position to do that kind of work. And in fact, you can do some of the practical work as part of your degree programme. Many of our students work alongside council-run services in helping them deliver what they are doing in terms of promoting health for the local community, but obviously giving our students valuable experience along the way. Many of our students become teachers both in the primary and secondary sector. Some of them go and work in the private health sector locally for local health clubs, but also there's more specialist work which is available further afield. In London, there's an organisation called CP&R who deliver a bespoke personal training experience for individuals with clinical health conditions. But obviously also master's degree, taught master programmes that you can go on to study. In the school we offer a master's by research programme and also a PhD programme. Again, we encourage our students to kind of further their research work. And then we encourage those who've got entrepreneurial ideas in terms of maybe putting some of those into practice during their time with us. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening, and I do hope it's inspired you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in contact. Thank you very much.